Good morning, my brothers and sisters. This is Brother Manny checking in once again in this divine and glorious morning. I just wanted to add to the message I was able to share with you guys yesterday about being rooted in the Word. So this is part two. As I meditated in the Lord last night, the Lord was ministering to me and wanted me to add a little bit more to that message because I shared, you know, some negative things that come against us, trials and tribulations, temptations, that sometimes hurt us if we're not rooted in the Word. But there's also good things that come on our way, like blessings and promotions and things like that. And if we're not rooted in the Word, then sometimes we miss those blessings that come our way. And I have a short testimony, actually two, that I'd like to share with you. That affected me from obtaining these blessings by not being rooted in the Word. And one of them was, like I said before, I'm far from perfection, and I spent some time co-abiding with my now wife without being married. And what do I mean by that? I mean that we can't cover the sky with our hands. See, we were doing everything that we could to please God. We were living spiritual lives, but at the same time grieving the Spirit by our fornication. The word says no fornicator will enter the kingdom of God. So as we grieve the Spirit, our growth tend to be at a standstill. So I say that to say this. Look, we had plans and goals to buy a house, right? So in my mind, as a provider, I was thinking, look, if we get the house first, then we'll get married. Because if we get married first, it's gonna be harder financially to get the house. And every time we got closer and closer to get those funds to get the house, something went wrong where we had to spend some of that money to get something fixed or to do something. So it wasn't until God administered to me and basically revealed to me that I wouldn't be able to get that blessing until we made ourselves right with God, which was to be married, so that God can bless our marriage and bless our being together, if you understand me. And my brothers and sisters, once we got married, God opened the floodgates of heaven and let it pour on us. Like, we looked at 3 houses. The third house we was able to close. We was able to close in about 7 weeks. God blessed us in such a mighty way that it is really unexplainable. But it wasn't until we were able to get right before God that we were able to get that blessing. And that goes with being rooted in the Word. Because if you know the Word, but you're not rooted in the Word, you're not going to apply the things that you know. You understand? So it wasn't until we grew those roots that we were able to see God's blessing. And it's a marvelous thing. You understand? So, and the other thing was, when I was getting my Class A license, I bypassed a fundamental part on the air brakes, thinking that the most important part was to learn how to drive. So things didn't go the way that I wanted in the beginning because I tried to bypass that. You understand? So I wasn't rooted in the Word, forgetting my principles. You see, God wasn't able to give me that blessing because I wasn't ready for that blessing. You understand? It wasn't until I understood the fundamentals of the things that I had to learn that I was able to obtain that blessing and attain my Class A license. And I'm here to tell you, my brothers and sisters, and exhort to you that we need to be rooted in the Word to be able to grasp those blessings. Because sometimes, if we're not rooted in the Word, we might get a blessing, let's say a good amount of money, an inheritance, right? And if we're not rooted in the Word, what are we going to do with that money? Are we going to do good things, or are we going to let this money separate us from God? Are we going to let this money take our eyes off of God, right? Because you know, the desire for money is the root to all evil. And some people say that money will never change them because they never had that type of money. And when that money comes their way, it separates them from God because they're not rooted in the word. You understand? So there's a lot of blessings that we're not prepared for. And there's a lot of blessings where and petitions that we have asked God that he already has said yes. But some of them he has said wait, because we're not rooted in the word, therefore not being prepared to obtain that blessing from God. So brothers and sisters, I'm here to share this with you because there's not always negative things that arise from us that cause us to be separated from God by not being rooted in the word. There's also blessings that we can't attain by not being rooted in the word because we're not prepared for those. And that's something that God administered to me last night as I meditated in the Lord. And I just want to exhort you to continue to stay firm in the faith and stay rooted in the word, my brothers and sisters. May God bless your day. I got to get back to work. God bless you.